Hey Stormers, how you doing? This is Dave Babcock. I wanted to explain a little bit about the flood policy, um, just the basics of the flood policy. I was a flood insurance adjuster for 20 years, and I started off real small and worked my way up to working big, large claims, and I did it for many, many, many years. And um, uh, the the biggest thing about understanding a flood policy, if you're a newbie, or if you've even been in the business for a little while, there's some real basics that will help you at the beginning. And the biggest thing on a flood policy is knowing whether a building is a post-firm or a pre-firm building. That is the first thing you want to find out. Whether you're doing flood claims or you're doing loss mitigation, whatever you're doing with a flood claim, the first thing you want to do is know that information. What happened is back in the early 80s, 1980, 1982, something like that, NFIP started making communities a part of the flood program. And so they developed what they called a firm date. And any building that was built before the firm date would be considered a pre-firm building. And any building built after the firm date would be called a post-firm building. And that's probably the main thing that would keep yourself out of trouble. You don't want to roll up on somebody's house and tell them everything's covered and it's a post-firm building that was built after the community became a part of the flood program. And you start talking about everything's covered, I'm going to pay for all these contents, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Or if you're rolling up as a mitigation company, you don't want to promise that all this stuff's going to get covered and you're going to help them get it covered and that kind of stuff. And then to turn out that it's a post-firm elevated building, and then there's a lot of restrictions to the coverage. The main thing that you want to do if you're a newbie as far as understanding the policy is you want to get a copy of the policy, the general, and start every time you go to the bathroom, bring the policy with you and read it. Understand it over and over and over. Always reading the policy. Always, anytime you have spare time, sit there and read that policy and understand it to the best of your ability. And you will be way better off if you understand the policy, because knowledge is power. So when you get to a house, whether or not you're doing sales or you're doing the claim as a flood adjuster, you want to know what you're talking about. And if you don't know what you're talking about, call somebody and ask them, and don't tell people something that is not true about their policy. But understanding the policy, get a copy of it, read it all the time. Anytime you have spare time, read the policy. But the main thing is, remember, when you first start out, or if you've been doing it a while, do not talk about coverage on a post-firm elevated building if you don't know it, but figure it out. Okay, I hope that helps everybody, and look forward to working with you. This is David from First Response. Thanks, bye.